My major energy system used in a 15-minute game of AFL by Mitch. When playing sport, there are three major energy systems in use, such as the creatine phosphate system, otherwise known as ATP-PC system, the lactic acid system or anaerobic glycolysis, and the aerobic system. These were found at www.ideafit.com. Each system can be used throughout the game but at different stages. For example, the aerobic system will be used when the player is not in much action and at the time of the game their heart rate is at 60% compared to their max heart rate. Below is a picture of my heart rate throughout the 15 minutes of an AFL game. The blue will represent the aerobic system and the green is representing the lactic acid system. Energy systems can be in use throughout the 15-minute game. Certain energy systems will be in use at different times depending on how much I was involved at that point of the game. During the 15 minutes of the AFL game, the creatine phosphate system wasn't used, which shows that I wasn't moving really fast or heavily involved in the action. Creatine phosphate system is triggered when 85 to 100% of my max energy or maximum heart rate is being used. My maximum heart rate for my age can be significantly different to those of the same gender male. I have calculated my max heart rate to be 216 beats per minute. Mitch calculated this by having the beats per minute of 220 and subtracting it by my age, 14. 220 minus 14 equals 216 beats per minute, which is my maximum heart rate. You can find out how to calculate your own maximum heart rate by visiting www.runnersworld.com. So, if 85 to 100% is the creatine phosphate system, and I've been using it for over 1 to 3 minutes, the lactic acid should therefore kick into place, as I would have run out of energy, but in my game, the system that was mostly in use was the aerobic system. With some glimpses of the lactic acid system towards the end of the game, my heart rate throughout the game is showing that I wasn't moving constantly or the possession of the ball wasn't near me as I was playing in the forward position, and might have shown that the midfield or defending team wasn't doing their job. This shows my inactivity throughout the game, but although it may seem that I wasn't heavily involved in the game, there are moments in which the lactic acid system was in use for when I was running around and chasing the ball when the ball was nearby. I found out what the lactic acid system was by visiting www.richwoodstack.com/physiology. Below is my heart rate in comparison to my speed in kilometers per hour. Above shows that if you compare my heart rate to my speed, that spikes in my heart rate in comparison to my speed are correct, and that the spikes in my speed and heart rate show that I must have been heavily involved in that part of the game or chasing the ball for a certain amount of time. My max speed was 21.4 kilometers per hour, and when I had gotten up to that speed, my heart rate increased significantly as my pace was at a high point for a while in the game, and you see in my heart rate that it is still high for a long period of time. The system that was in use at that moment of my heart rate and pace being high was the aerobic system, as my heart rate still isn't at 85 to 100%. My muscular endurance is quite low, as when you see the rapid spikes of my pace, my heart rate stays high for twice as long as I was running around. There are many ways I can work on muscular endurance. Muscular endurance can be improved while doing high intensity exercises with low reps and high weight, or short distance using 85 to 100% of your energy. And these exercises should be quick with a few sets using all your energy to complete the exercise. A very good way to improve muscular endurance is when you have high reps and medium weight or distance. This will trigger your lactic acid system, and if done correctly, these exercises should build muscular endurance if done with a high intensity. This was found at www.bodybuilding.com/fun. These tips on how to improve muscular endurance are easy to do and improve many other things such as stamina and overall strength and power. In conclusion, my AFL game shows that I predominantly use the aerobic system, and in a couple moments the lactic acid system was in use. It was shown that I was heavily involved in a couple minutes throughout the game, but majority of the game I wasn't involved that much. And that my muscular endurance and stamina was poor. If I used the exercise types to improve my muscular endurance, stamina and strength and power, I would be significantly better and be able to perform and play harder throughout the whole 15 minutes of my AFL game. Thank you by Mitch. This was my AFL game report for 15 minutes. Minutes of the game.